Canelo Alvarez still being pressured to fight PBC fighters Jermall Charlo and David Benavidez. There ain't no escaping this. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Well, Canelo Alvarez, he made his pick, and it wasn't PBC fighters Jermall Charlo and David Benavidez. Canelo received an offer from Premier Boxing Champions, and he declined it, and he chose to fight on DAZN, an app which not many people have. They're raising their prices, etc., and this is his next move, what he feels is the next substantial move for his career. Now, the sad thing about it is I think Canelo is in the position of power to the point where he could pick who he fights and things like that. And really, he has the opportunity to grow the sport of boxing, but he decides to stay trapped on an app and not make what I believe to be significantly bigger fights like the PBC fight. Instead, Canelo, as you guys see, Canelo wants Benavidez and Charlo and all those other guys like Demetrius Andrade to fight each other, right? But you see below it says Benavidez is a bigger fight for Canelo than Jermall Charlo, says Eddie Hearn, who's working closely with Canelo to promote the bivol fight. And you'll see different articles. It says Benavidez promoter David Benavidez even reduced his purse demand to make the Canelo fight happen. So David Benavidez looks like he was willing to do whatever it took to try to get a Canelo fight. But you see, that's not what Canelo wants. Canelo is instead saying, hey, you guys fight each other. Don't worry about me. You see right here, it says PBC increases an offer to Canelo, and they add the David Benavidez fight. Still wasn't good enough. Now, ironically enough, in not choosing David Benavidez, who, keep in mind, the guy he did choose is Dimitri Bivol, is currently sparring with David Benavidez, and they've sparred in the past, right? And the irony with that is Dimitri Bivol, who is a fighter at 175, who sparred with the 168-pound Benavidez, he's so high up on Benavidez's talent and ability, you could see a recent interview where he said that he believes Benavidez has all the tools to dethrone and beat Canelo Alvarez. And he himself is the guy that's getting Canelo Alvarez. So I thought that's ironic. Canelo's trying to pawn off all these fighters and say they need to fight each other and continue to fight Eastern European guys with slow twitch muscles and, you know, just not really fast reactionary guys, and more so similar styles than the guys like David Benavidez, who can match him in hand speed, who can match or surpass him in power and grit and might and that ferocity with the combination punches. Guys like Jermall Charlo, very aggressive. Mike Tyson also said he wants to see the Canelo fight. Canelo was asked about Mike Tyson. Guys like Floyd Mayweather saying they want Canelo to fight him. And guess what? Canelo said he doesn't care. He doesn't care what any of these legends have to say. It's his choice, right? So, you know, it's just interesting times we're in. We know the fight that people want to see. And I think it's Benavidez. I think it's Canelo. I think it's Jermall Charlo. The other thing that's ironic is Canelo saying nobody can tell me who to fight and I'll fight whoever. I don't care what these legends are saying. I don't care if they want me to fight David Benavidez. And then Canelo and his fans wonder why Canelo is not revered in the same breath as some of the Mexican legends of yesteryear, like Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., like Marco Antonio Barrera, the babyface assassin, Juan Manuel Marquez, Eric Morales. And, you know, this is why, because all those guys that I just Finito Lopez, you know, even guys like Jorge Arce, Orlando Salido. All these guys are revered as Mexican boxing legends because they didn't play all these games. There weren't a bunch of strategies and weight demands and get people on quick turnarounds, get certain guys at catch weights, get certain guys with rehydration clauses, get guys coming off of bad performances, get guys coming off a year-plus layoff. And you got a hungry in prime David Benavidez and guys like Charlo who pretty much stay in shape, at least Charlo. You know, I know David Benavidez has had some issue, and Canelo's telling them to fight each other. And these are the fans. The fans are demanding these fights, but Canelo, again, has other plans. So it'll be interesting to see how this lasts. I think David Benavidez would have been an amazing fight. It's definitely better if they're trying to put the fight in America, because this is an easier sell, a much easier sell than Rocky Fielding and Billy Joe Saunders and even guys like Amir Khan, guys more recently like Avni Yildirim, Caleb Smith. People don't even know who these guys are. But I've been in Texas and watched David Benavidez on the co-feature of Errol Spence cards, and he had a standing ovation and a ton of fanfare and people taking pictures with him after his fight when he was in the crowd, right? So it's just funny. Guys like bivol have zero presence, and Canelo has no problem picking these type of fighters, right? Eastern European fighters. And, you know, they don't have to do nothing extra. They can fight on co-features. They can not look good on there. But because Canelo chooses Makbuk Air or bivol or Yildirim or Rocky Fielding, they don't have, there's no special, like, why? How come Canelo doesn't say Billy Joe Saunders needed to fight Caleb Smith, but then he's saying that Benavidez and Charlo, who aren't even in the same weight class, they need to fight each other? Why didn't he make Yildirim fight against bivol and all these other people that he is actually choosing? See, when it's convenient, Canelo says, payday, you want payday, I know that. And he's giving anybody paydays, even if the fans aren't requiring or requesting these fights. So how is it that David Benavidez and Charlo, they got to earn your respect by fighting each other, and Andrade, he's a horrible fighter and all this other stuff that Canelo fans say and Canelo says, and they got to go through this gauntlet to impress you? But bivol, he didn't fight Zordo Ramirez, right? Bivol, he didn't have to look good in his last fight. He didn't have to be televised and all these other rules that you have for certain guys. So we know what time it is. Now, I'm going to leave you guys with a clip. Legendary fighter Floyd Mayweather, he's one of the many that has called for Canelo to stop ducking David Benavidez. Floyd made it abundantly clear that in his view, his take, he does believe that Canelo Alvarez is avoiding a fight with none other than David Benavidez. So, you know, it is what it is. Canelo, his fans can say whatever, but the walls are closing in. We know the best fights, and we know the fights that we want to see. Here's Floyd. Without further ado, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the content. Roll the clip, and I'm out.
I look up and down, but it is what it is. I mean, if it was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. You know, that's just my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. He's going up. He's going up to cruise, and I'm not knocking him, but he's going up to cruiserweight. And that same guy he used to be at the Mayweather boxing gym. The guys really getting the best of him in the Mayweather boxing gym. So if he's going up to quote unquote cruiserweight, I mean, that's good. We got a lot. Benavidez can go and beat that same guy. He can beat that same guy at 168. So he's not doing nothing, you know, like I said before. But when you are put in a certain position, he should be I mean, he's able to, like me. You know, when I was in the position, I can pick and choose who I want to.
The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC, Bluetooth ready, with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster.